Oh, and it's spicy. Ryan Garcia sends a serious warning to Devin Haney. What will be his fate if the two square off in the ring and fight? Ryan says he's given Devin 3 chances. Devin Haney does respond to this. Find out exactly what was stated right now in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. A lot of moving parts here. We got a lot of moving parts. So the reality is this: Ryan Garcia is in a pinch. To give you guys the backstory, just in case you're brand new to the channel, Ryan Garcia is a once beaten fighter. He lost to Gervonta Davis. After his last fight, which was a comeback off of the Gervonta Davis KO loss, Ryan Garcia fought Oscar Duarte. It was clear there was some friction between him and his own promoter or promoters, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins. You've seen at the press conference, Ryan was just going off on tangents. Oscar looked like he was losing his mind, wanted to rip his hair out. He was like this and, rubbing his eyes and all kinds of stuff. So that was bad for business. Ryan did pretty well versus his opponent, Oscar Duarte, but there was this weird moment almost where Ryan started trying to do the shoulder roll like he was Floyd, and it just was kind of weird. It really was weird. But nonetheless, his left hook showed up and he knocked out Oscar Duarte. Post-fight, he called out Rolly Romero, who's a champion, albeit controversially, from the fight with Ishmael Barroso. Then there was clips of Ryan Garcia spending time with Floyd Mayweather, and an interview was conducted. During this interaction, Ryan was listed by Floyd Mayweather as one of the top stars in the sport. In no particular order, he said Canelo, Gervonta, and Ryan. These were the top names. Somewhere after that, Ryan switched from saying, I want to fight Rolly, to asking his fans on social media via X, a poll, who he should fight next, Devin Haney or Rolly. People voted, and more people said Devin Haney. They wanted to see that fight. Ryan Garcia had switched and said his sights were now focused on negotiating with Devin Haney. And then somewhere after that fell apart, right? Ryan one day woke up and says, you know what? I'm fighting Rolly next. I'm getting back in negotiations with him. This is not the first time Ryan Garcia has done this, where he's almost did some double talking or contradicted himself or changed the game plan, if you will. So with that being said, Rolly came out after that point and said, I ain't fighting Ryan Garcia. They said I'm overpricing myself. I'm going to target Pitbull Cruz. And then out of nowhere, Rolly and Pitbull Cruz was announced for the Keith Thurman Tim Tszyu card as a co-main, leaving Ryan high and dry, just like Ryan had left Devin high and dry in the negotiations. So now Ryan is basically forced to get back into negotiations, and he confirmed those negotiations. He did a brand new interview with Fight Hype, an exclusive interview, and he kind of did a tell-all, updated the fans on what's going on. He also had a warning for Devin Haney, which I stated at the beginning of this video. So Ryan has stated that it's going to be a standing 8 count. It's going to be a standing 8 count. He's going to really put a hurting on Devin Haney. Ryan, in this new interview, he talked about one of the 6 fights that they had as an amateur, Devin, Ryan. They fought 6 times as amateurs before turning pro. And he said he busted Devin's eardrum and hurt him. This is what Ryan is claiming. He says, and I quote, when I beat his ass in the amateurs, I hurt his ass, and he knows it too. Ryan Garcia also went on record and he says, I don't want to say anything before it's signed, but we are back in talks. Devin will be destroyed and his daddy is going to have to help him up. So he's saying that Bill Haney is going to have to pick his son up because it's going to be a continuation from the amateurs, where he says and claims that he hurt Devin Haney, and they both know it, Bill and Devin Haney. Ryan was talking pretty spicy, and you guys can watch the interview. I'm just paraphrasing. You better pray he get knocked out cold. That's what Ryan Garcia said. He says he's going to keep looking over at Bill Haney, and he going to check to see, he going to check Bill's temperature basically. And he said he's going to see where the love is with the father and son duo, the Haneys, because he says pray that Devin Haney gets knocked out, like cold out and knocked out smooth, because the longer the fight goes on, the more punishment he is going to inflict on his son. And he said he gonna keep taunting him and things like that. So Ryan was definitely talking spicy. Now, I gotta say this. He also talked spicy to Gervonta Davis. And I understand Gervonta is his own fighter. Devin's his own man. They're completely separate fighters, different attributes, different styles, etc. But I'd be remiss to leave that out and omit that. He said similar things about all the things he was going to do to Gervonta Davis. He said 2 rounds, and he told Mike Tyson, hi, me Mike Tyson. I got a special guest. I got Ryan. We gonna tank. He called you a Nick Tank. You know what I mean? He was on the Mike Tyson hot boxing show or whatever, jumping up and shadow boxing, doing all that and the theatrics. And he was like, I'm gonna knock you out in 2. And it was him that got knocked down in the 2nd round. So seeing is believing. I do believe this is a very good fight. And, you know, I got to admit this too, is I have no problem with the fight. I think it's a great fight. People continue to hate on Gervonta Davis and say Gervonta needs to fight someone. When is Gervonta Davis going to actually fight someone? He needs to fight someone. That's all we hear from the usual suspects, right? But my thing is this. When Devin and Ryan look to be in negotiations, and I'll get to that in a second, but when they're going to potentially lock horns, everybody's admitting that this is a great fight. And despite Devin being a sensational talent and undefeated, former undisputed in the previous division, and him being a new champion at 140 pounds, nobody's saying that Ryan is a bad fight for Devin. But the same people are saying Gervonta Davis needs to fight somebody. That doesn't make sense to me. You can't take a dump on Gervonta's resume and say, man, when is Gervonta going to step up? He needs to really fight someone. But then you're okay with Devin Haney fighting the same guy that Gervonta, as a smaller person, already beat by knockout. You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Nonetheless, I think Devin versus Ryan, should it happen, and I have my doubts, and I'll explain further towards the end of this video. Stay tuned to the end. But should it happen, I think it's a great fight. You know, fans can get behind it. I don't think it'll do quite as great as the Gervonta Davis, you know, commercially, because Ryan is no longer undefeated. We've seen some of his vulnerabilities and that type of stuff. So Devin will be a favorite in the fight, but nonetheless, it'll be a big fight if it happens. Devin Haney seen this Fight Hype interview with Ryan Garcia, and Fight Hype they posted Bill's response coming at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Devin responds to all the tough talk and the spicy talk from Ryan Garcia. He says, we heard this story before. I'ma beat the shoulder roll out of you. That's pretty funny. I ain't gonna front. Like I said earlier in the video, the great value shoulder roll that Ryan was doing was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Nasty work. It was nasty work. I don't know what urged him, if he was possessed. I don't know why. I don't know if they even got pictures on Google, but nasty work. I don't know why he even deferred to that. It's not your style. It's not really what you're known for. And I don't say, it's like, you know, Andre Berto, when he fought Robert Guerrero, and Robert Guerrero was like mauling him and fighting real gritty and like dirty boxing basically. And then out of nowhere, Berto tried to do the shoulder roll. It's just weird. Like, what are these fighters? I understand Mayweather is influential, but that was nasty work for Ryan. I don't know what, and he was winning the fight regular. So it's like, where'd you turn into Floyd Joy, you know? Now, speaking of Mayweather being influential, another thing Ryan Garcia declared in this particular interview, he stated that it was Floyd who put the bug in his ear. A lot of people were blaming Floyd and saying, oh, Floyd is the reason that Ryan Garcia had a change of heart and went to target Rolly. And that's because Mayweather's influential, and also Mayweather was seen with him, and Rolly is a Mayweather Promotions fighter. So people made that connection. Ryan Garcia is basically confirming the connection. But, you know, I don't really buy that. You're a grown man. Floyd can say whatever he wants. You have to want to do that. If you wanted to fight Devin more than you wanted to fight Rolly, then you would have never switched up and said, hey, now I'm fighting Rolly. So there's a lot of people that suggest a ton of stuff for me as a boxing channel, a content creator. But at the end of the day, I got to do what's in my heart. I got to make the content that I want. So that's not an excuse. People, I get it. Floyd's an easy target. People want to hate Floyd and really blame him for all the woes and stuff. Oh, people trying to protect their O's. All that's garbage to me. People trying to protect their O's because of Floyd. It sounds like a cop-out. Nevertheless, the walls are closing in because Rolly has his next fight, and it's not Ryan Garcia. So Ryan, he wants a pay-per-view. I mean, who else is he going to fight other than Devin on pay-per-view? Now, true to my word, I did say that I was okay if Ryan decided to fight someone other than Devin Haney in terms of fighting Rolly, because they both have one belt in the division. But seeing how the Rolly fight is FUBAR and Rolly has his own assignment, yeah, the pressure and the getting back in negotiations with Devin is the right move. Now, I'm still not sold. You guys could say whatever, but Ryan and Devin, to me, I understand that they're saying that they're going to fight. It is far from a done deal in my view. You know what I mean? I understand that they're like, oh, they're both confirming they're back in negotiations. I get it. Devin Haney responded on his social media verified page. He says April 20th. So a lot of people are going to get hyped and stuff like that. But me, I'm going to just hold out. I hope the fight happens. Let's see if the fight happens. But I'm definitely holding my breath because I don't trust it. At this point, you don't got to burn me multiple times. Pause for me to get the big picture until I see press conference and Golden Boy. Because the other thing is, let's keep it all the way funky. Ryan and Golden Boy, they're at odds. They're not seeing eye to eye. Last time we checked, Oscar De La Hoya was talking about Jose Ramirez for Ryan Garcia. That's what he said. And he also, the day Ryan said he's switching gears and he's going to fight against, he said he was going to fight against Rolly or get back in negotiation with Rolly, Oscar was on this telecast and he was talking to the DAZN cameras being interviewed, saying that he's working on the Devin Haney fight and he's confident that the fight can get done. And I'm like, did he not get the memo? Ryan already admitted that he moved on from Devin Haney at that point, right? So that was weird from De La Hoya to get on camera after I had made videos about it. Everybody was talking about it earlier that day, that Ryan Garcia publicly announced that he's moving on from the Devin Haney fight, right? So I'm like, where is De La Hoya? Why is he still talking about the Haney fight when the fighter basically said on X via tweet that he's not fighting Devin Haney next at that given time? So why is he still talking about it? He didn't get the memo or whatever. So I don't even like that relationship. It just seems like too chaotic. Dissing each other, like the promoter dissing the fighter, B-Hop saying he's not going to baby anyone, and he need to see how Ryan looks versus Duarte to see if Ryan should retire. Oscar and Ryan clearly not in good graces and on the same page. It's just too much going on there. So Devin Haney is a huge threat to Ryan Garcia. I know Ryan is saying what he's saying, and he's saying, I'm going to knock you out and beat you. Again, he said that all that same stuff with Tank Davis. So we need to see him actually do those things, because Devin's a hell of a fighter and very skilled. So that's really all my thoughts. I got to see it to believe it. They could keep saying April 20th and we back in negotiations and all that. Show me. LSI, let's see it. That's all I'm going to keep saying. And hopefully we get it. But I will keep you guys updated when it comes to all things boxing, because I am the best in the business and it's not even close. So check out that interview. Ryan Garcia talking spicy. They both seem to want it again. Devin Haney responded with, April 20th, and he said he gonna beat the shoulder roll about Ryan. So other than that, I don't really want to see too much negotiating through the press and internet dialogue. I just want to see the fight announced with a fight flyer and a press conference. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working.